afternoon, everyone. Today is Friday, July the 2nd. Getting ready for the 4th of July weekend, right? Well, it's so nice to be with you to talk about our Catholic faith. I enjoy these sessions, don't you? I'm glad that you come on board and you're listening. So many people stop me and say, Father, great reflections. Oh, Father, keep them coming. Father, thanks for taking the time to do that. Listen, I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. I mean, very kind of you. You make me feel good for saying that. So I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it. You're wonderful, and I'm happy to do it so that we can talk about our Catholic faith, right? So this is the 4th of July weekend, right? So we have to talk a little bit about religious freedom, religious liberty. What is that? Religious freedom, religious liberty. So why don't you Google the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops and see what they have on their website. Is the USCCB part of your favorites? Why don't you make it part of your favorites? So it's the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, the USCCB, and look at their website. See what they say about religious freedom, religious liberty. What do we have to do as Catholics to make sure that our religious freedom is not taken away from us? That we really need to promote in the marketplace. We have a right, like any other Americans, to express our religion, right? And we have been, of course, criticized and ostracized in the past as Catholics, discriminated against as Catholics. I'm sure you know the history of Philadelphia and the history of that persecution that our fellow Catholics went through. So we have to make sure that that is not the case. As we celebrate our Independence Day on July the 4th, we really have to look into religious liberty and religious freedom. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we have to make sure of that. And we have to be promoters of it. Sometimes Catholics live behind closed doors. They're constantly just quiet. We have to make sure that we have a voice that is heard. Again, I'm going to talk about that prophetic role as the baptized, the priestly role, the prophetic role, the role of the king or the leader. So we're talking about a priestly role, a prophetic role, and a kingly role. Now, tell me you understand this, because we talked about this. Please say, Father, I understand. As a baptized person, whether I'm a male or a female, I enter into the priestly role with Jesus. I enter into the prophetic role with Jesus. I enter into the kingly role with Jesus by virtue of my baptism. And then I'll say to you, perfect. So how do you enter into the priestly role? Well, I offer sacrifices, because that's what a priest of the Old Testament and the New Testament did. They offered sacrifice to God. Yes, sacrifice is good. Penance is good. And then, what is a prophet? That I speak, whether it's convenient or inconvenient. You think Isaiah, everything was peachy keen for him? Jeremiah? No. To be a prophet, have a prophetic voice in the world. When I look at Mother Teresa, I think of prophet. I think of priest. I think of king. Mother Teresa. Yeah, exercising her priestly, prophetic, and kingly role as a baptized member of Christ's family. So many of you, I see it in all of you. Absolutely. The kingly role. Leader. Are you a leader of your own family, your own household, maybe the parish, maybe our community? So priest, prophet, and king. The threefold nature of baptism. So when you hear that, I don't want you to be like, what's that? What? Priest, prophet, king? I'm not a priest. Well, by virtue of your baptism, you are, because you share in it with Christ. Now, remember, there's two modalities of the priesthood. The priesthood of the baptized and the ministerial priest. I know you're not a ministerial priest, I know that, but you are a priest of the baptized. You are. You offer sacrifice. You join in his sacrifice. Remember, I always tell you at Mass, you join in the sacrifice at the altar. Hello? That's what I mean. So it's priest, prophet, and king. We need to do that in the marketplace. We need to do that in our society. We need to do that in our community. We need to stand up for everything that is good, just, and holy. We need to make sure that our Catholic voice is heard, and the right way. Our Catholic voice, our Catholic conscience. Yes, because I think the world needs it. I think the world needs us to speak and not to be silent. Because what does the church teach? Because there's so many false teachings out there. Don't you think it's a false teaching? And I'll say to people, that's not what the church teaches. Where'd you hear that? I don't know, someone told me. No, get it from the source. Don't be going and spreading that propaganda. That's all false. I want you to know and how to articulate the Catholic faith. That's so important these days, because the faith is being really compromised, whether we believe it or not. So what are some practical ways that you can spread the faith? Well, prayer. I'm going to give you a couple tips, okay, that you might want to incorporate into your daily life. Some of them might be big for you to do, but that's okay. Change is good. Do you go to daily Mass? If you're available for daily Mass and you don't go, why not? Why aren't you going to daily Mass? So I'm going to encourage you to go to daily Mass. I think we need more people at daily Mass. We average anywhere from 30 to 40 people at daily Mass. Mass is offered every day at 9 o'clock. So if you're not going to daily Mass, I want to know why. So please come to daily Mass. Number 2, how often do you go to confession? You should be going to confession at least once a month. Now, even if you don't have mortal sins, don't you want the grace of the sacrament? Exactly. Number 3, are you going to adoration? Do you have an hour that you give to Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament? 1 hour a week. We need help. We need people to be in the Adoration Chapel, signed up as a scheduled doer, because we have the Blessed Sacrament 24/7 in our chapel. So there you are. 3 biggies already I gave you. Daily Mass, monthly confession, adoration. The 4th thing I want to tell you about is daily rosary. Are you praying the rosary daily? You'd be surprised how powerful a prayer that is. Okay, so we talked about prayer. The next thing I want to talk to you about is getting involved in your parish. Whether to be a lector, an extraordinary minister of Holy Communion, whether being a catechist for prep, someone who teaches the faith. I think we need to have people on board, whether you want to be an usher. I mean, we have a lot of ministries. You want to be part of the Legion of Mary. They're all wonderful opportunities. How about getting involved in one of our fun events, our annual feast? I talked about that yesterday. How about the approaching 100th anniversary of our parish? I talked about that yesterday. Let's not let these pass by. Very important. This year we're going to be celebrating 95 years as a parish. That's a big deal. Who can say in the United States of America that our parish is 95 years old and we're still open, vibrant, alive? Who can say that? We can say that at St. Mary's. But it's because of all of you that make it happen. So please, get involved. Remember, we're celebrating our 95th on September 10th, 11th, and 12th. Susan Rosowitz is the chairwoman of the annual feast celebration. Remember, we used to call it St. Mary Day. We don't call it that anymore. We call it St. Mary Feast because it's not a day anymore. It's now 3 days. So usually part of Catholic tradition is you call that a feast. You call that your parish feast celebration. So Susan has something ready for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Beautiful. And I think something for the whole family, not just for kids, not just for adults. I think she has something for everybody. Well, she needs a little village to help her. So she'll be reaching out to you, okay? How about the 100th anniversary? That's coming in 5 years. We'll meet. We have about at least 10 committees we have to form. Well, are you able to help us? Should be a nice event celebrating our 100th anniversary in 2026. How about the Christmas craft show and bazaar? Are you willing to help with that? How about our annual race for education? How about our calendar club? Susan's going to design a new calendar for this coming year, celebrating 2 anniversaries, the 95th of the parish and the 60th of the school. So I can't wait to see her design. And she'll probably be asking you for pictures for both school and church, because there's 2 big anniversaries this year. In fact, in September. And that is the 95th of the parish and the 60th of the school. Would you want to be involved in the calendar club? There's so many things that go across the board all during the year of the parish. To invite people to Sunday Mass, nothing compares to being in person, the Archbishop says. And so the Archbishop once again is telling me and all the pastors and our parish staff, I want you to tell everybody it's time to come back. It's time to come back in person to Mass. Nothing compares to be in person for the celebration of Mass, because religion is incarnational. It's body and soul. You just can't watch it from afar or watch it on a screen. You have to be there. It's the touch of Jesus. It's the encounter with Jesus. It's the relationship with Jesus. So nothing compares. So we're asking you to start coming back, which is very important. Also, I want to talk to you about, of course, July 3rd. July 3rd is tomorrow, which is a Saturday. And July 3rd at 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to have a Patriotic Rosary. Now, Patty Carney and Jack Carney, husband and wife, are coordinators of our annual Patriotic Rosary. They do a beautiful job. They get many people to help pray the Patriotic Rosary. And it does happen 1 hour before Mass, because there's a lot to pray about and to talk about and to announce. But they do a beautiful, beautiful job. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Jack. And thank you for your entire team that puts this together every year. So it won't be on the 4th this year. It's going to be on the 3rd. So I just want to give you a heads up. It's going to be tomorrow, the 3rd. And it's going to start at 8 a.m. And we need to pray for religious freedom. We need to pray for our country. We need to pray for human life. At the first moment of conception, we need to pray for human life as there's terrible things happening out in the world, like human trafficking, homelessness, lack of housing, lack of health care. See, I'm trying to explain to you all the issues. Because there's many critics who say, that's all the church talks about is abortion. Well, it's not really, but it is preeminent. So I wouldn't criticize the church for talking about the issue of abortion, because it is important. So don't beat the church up for that. But it is important. But as you notice, I'm saying all these other issues as well that deal with the human person. So I think all Catholics have to understand that too. There is a hierarchy within this respecting of all human life. From the first moment of conception, all the way through to natural death. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how do we promote and respect and reverence all human life. And we need to pray about that. We need to pray that our legislators, our laws, and all of the people who work for this great land of ours promote the dignity of the human person, inside the womb and outside the womb, okay? It's both and, not either or, in Catholic tradition. Now, you heard me say that many times on these YouTube reflections, because that is the Catholic Church's teaching, both and, not either or. Both in the womb and outside of the womb. It's like Jesus in the tabernacle and Jesus in the monstrance. Both and. Both and. And so we have to make sure that we respect that. Respect human life. So we're having our Patriotic Rosary tomorrow at 8 a.m. I hope you're able to join us. It'll be followed by Mass at 9 o'clock, followed by morning confessions. They're back again. They're back again. So everything is back except the offering of the precious blood and the priest or deacon actually saying, let us offer each other the sign of peace. You can offer each other the sign of peace, believe me, whatever you feel best. It could be this, it could be this, or it could be this. But you can offer. It depends if you want to be tactile or not, if you want to touch or not. But the Archdiocese asked us to refrain from saying that because they didn't want to put people in a situation that they feel like, I don't want to touch it, you know what I mean? So it's, those two things are the only things that have not been really brought back, was the availability of the precious blood, communion by chalice, and the actual announcing. Because you can like offer each other a sign of peace, but make sure that offer is comfortable to the person next to you, right? So yeah, things are coming back, and we're having our meetings now. I think Susan mentioned to me that she wants to have feast meetings, maybe on Zoom and in person. She wants to do both. So if people don't want to come out at night, maybe it's too hot, maybe they just don't want to be in a crowd, or maybe they're tired. So she's having the availability of both. See, she's very Catholic. She's both and not either or. So she'll be having that, getting ready for our September 10th, 11th, and 12th feast, celebrating the 95th anniversary of St. Mary Parish. So all these things are happening, everybody. And I'm so grateful to you, because a parish is only as great as its people. And boy, for the last 95 years, the people of this community have truly been a sign of Christ's presence, truly live out one faith, one family, and one spirit. Have a nice day, everybody.